Hi, Collective. It's Intuitive Pisces Moon, and it's just another fine day in this universe of love. And that actually is a song by Lenny Kravitz, and it's been stuck in my head for quite a while. So I feel like it's leading me to do this spiritual reading today. So we're going to tap into the energies of spirit and our guides and just see what's on the horizon for us or what's happening in the collective. So I just want to start by thanking you all so much for being here. I do truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. If you are new here, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, thank you so much for staying with me. I truly appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look and see what we have. I'm going to start with the Work Your Light Oracle. All right, so let's see what we have going on in the collective today. Spirit, tell me, what do we need to know that's going on right now? And these readings are timeless, so whenever you come upon them is when you were meant to see them or hear them. And there is something here for you if the title grabbed you in or if you happen to stumble upon this message. All right. So the first one we got was Emrama. Where are you being called to journey to? And Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. All right, we'll go ahead and get started with those two. All right, so I am going to read a little bit on these ones because they always have deep messages within them. So I just want to check and see. Okay, where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you've pulled this card, you're either being called on a soul journey or you are already on one. It could be a physical, ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You're being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is to journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie in the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you are being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Okay. So I'm going to put these into two piles. Let's get some tarot. So for some of us, we are called to certain places on the earth, and there are definite hot spots for spirituality. So if you are being called to go to any of those places, then that is your journey. That's what you're being called and asked to do. Okay. Interesting choice of cards, Spirit. All right. So let's leave the bottom as the devil there. Now, what I'm seeing here is that somebody is experiencing kind of fear and anxiety over some love situation. And this could have been a marriage. It could have just been a home situation, like maybe you just lived together. It lacked stability because there were lies, deception, trickery going on, sneakiness. You didn't feel that you could trust this person. And you are being called to make a choice. Either you have already made the choice, or it is in front of you currently, or will be very soon. There's two cards here that indicate having to make a choice. One might be in relationships and love, but what you're being called to look at is what brings you balance and reciprocity and stability. Now, the Devil card is basically the opposite of the Lover's card, okay? In the Lover's card, we have partnerships, we have romance, we have balance, unity. There's love there. And it is supported by the angels, the divine spirit. In the Devil card, it is the opposite of that. We're there because we feel stuck, we feel powerless, we feel maybe even stuck with our addictions or obsessions, limitations, dependency. And the thing is in the Devil card, it's the same two people, but the chains around their neck are really loose and they could leave at any time. Okay? So being that it's at the bottom of the deck, that could be what was keeping us up here in this energy. And again, with the Nine of Swords, this is mental anguish, but it's also possibly self-inflicted. I'm not going to say that whoever you may have been with in this situation didn't cause it, but we always have a choice in life, and, we can allow something to get to us like that with the mental anguish, or we can choose not to let it get to us. So based on what I'm seeing down here, is we are making the healthy choice. And we do want a balanced love situation. And we are making the healthy choice, whereas previously maybe we didn't understand what was considered healthy and what was considered, again, kind of that obsession or dependency or addiction. I always think of the Devil card as our vices or our shadow self. Okay, what does our shadow self require? If we live too much in the shadow, the ego, this is the energy that we sit in. But as soon as we can kind of release the dependency, the limitations, the feeling of powerlessness, and that could even relate to this Nine of Swords, that's that anxiety, the fear, then we start to move into a more balanced situation, okay? Now, being the Two of Swords is here, to me, this card can go in multiple ways because there's a blindfold. That could be kind of a self-inflicted situation where you don't want to choose. Or this could be somebody, again, with the deception, trying to keep the blindfold on you and not wanting you to choose, this. They wanted to keep you in this energy and this energy, the deception, the trickery. So the good side of this card is also that this could have you being strategic or resourceful. So if you were not happy sitting in this anxiety feeling and, this devil obsession dependency energy, you are now looking at something from a brand new set of eyes because it's from a balanced position, showing gratitude for what you already have and calling in something different, okay? I don't like this oppressive energy, and I choose more for myself. So let's tie that into where you're being called to journey to. Now, this to me feels more like the internal journey. So the internal journey is calling you away from too much of this and putting you more into this, where again, you want that balance. You want that support. And it's making you feel like I can do anything now. I don't feel trapped. I don't feel stuck. I can now take myself having healed beyond a certain point and move forward in life in a balanced, reciprocated way. And in fact, you expect that. So I'm hearing very strongly the word boundaries. Okay, there may have been a lack of boundaries in this previous situation. And this doesn't even need to be a relationship, okay? It does not need to be that. It just feels that way because the Four of Wands typically means marriage. But it doesn't have to. It could just be celebrations, going to weddings, parties, gatherings, etc. But it is a solid foundation. Now, you may have thought you were getting into some solid foundation and it turned out not to be. Okay? So that's a possibility. But now you're seeing what's been going on and you're deciding for yourself that you're choosing differently. Okay? Now, I also like to look at this card as deep thought because swords are always about thought, and there's a lot of swords here with thought. So it is either you're in your mind with mental anguish or you're at peace and calm and deciding what it is you want to do next. So in the midst of deciding what you want to do, you may be being called to go journey to some of these spiritual locations. So I actually just watched a video about Mount Shasta, which is in California. And if that is something that you are interested in, that might be a place that you want to journey to. Now, there are multiple other locations all over the world that are deemed as being very heavily spiritually charged. And some people in meditation, in dreams, get visions of these places and are called to go there. I've even heard some people say that they are invited there. So if that is something that's on your mind at the moment, if you have the means to do so, then do what your soul is calling you to do. If this is just an internal journey, that's okay too. You can go meditate and kind of ask your guides to take you to some of these places internally. And then maybe at the time later in your life when you're ready, you can actually go there. All right. I want to get into the Keepers of the Light Oracle and see what we have to go with this. What do we have to go with this? There we go, that one. So we have Archangel Michael. Trusting heaven, you are safe. Angels stand close and surrender to your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Okay, so you have, again, anxiety and that sort of thing. So you are being asked to surrender whatever is on your mind that's causing you this anxiety, this stress. Okay? Again, it's in your head. It's of your own doing. So you can choose not to let something bother you and to get stressed out about it. It's your choice. Because the longer you sit there, the longer you feel you're stuck there. So just be careful about that aspect of it. So let's see what Archangel Michael has to say about that. Okay. Archangel Michael is one of the four major archangels of the Abrahamic religions. His twin flame is faith. He is loved all over the world because he is the patron saint of protection. He wields a bright sword of light to help us detach from dramas, challenges, or fears. His name means he who is like God, and his fiery presence helps awaken our leadership skills and reminds us that we have the capacity to connect with heaven. If challenges are present in your life, call on Michael to bring his sword of light to energetically disconnect you from what is no longer serving you. Your angel team is with you now. You are not in this alone. You may be feeling sensitive or overwhelmed, but your angels are inviting you to take a step back so that you can come in and share their light of miracles. You may feel that your prayers aren't heard, but that doubt blocks solutions. Yep, that's what this is. Know that Archangel Michael and his legion of angels are here to help clear anything that is not serving you so that you can allow in the miracles of change that you deserve. Okay, perfectly placed, I feel. Oh, wow. I love it when they just all tie together like that. So what I wanted to also talk to you about was cord cutting. Because there are times in our life where if we are in any sort of engagement with any type of person, even if it's brief or momentarily, people can attach cords to you, subconsciously or consciously, in any interaction, even in a just quick passing hi or touch. So Archangel Michael is a great resource to call upon to cut cords. And again, ask him to use his sword of light to cut the cords between you and any negative energy that's out there. I'm going to tell you something that's been happening to me, and maybe it relates to you guys. There is some energy that has been making me sit in this. And I don't know if it's, again, kind of the shadow work. I'm being called to face something, to look at something, but I also feel that it, again, could be other people's projections. So you have to be careful and decipher for you in your life what is being projected on you from other people and what is actually yours to address. And it can be tough sometimes, because sometimes if there is a feeling attached to it and you recognize the feeling, or you recognize whatever the emotion is that's tied to this feeling, and you know it's yours, then great. That's your shadow to address. But if it seems to be coming out of nowhere and you have no idea what it's tied to, oftentimes it's a projection. Okay? And again, that could be part of this lies, trickery, deception. So all I'm going to say is just be careful who you interact with, because it makes all the difference in the world how you feel every day. So if you feel that you're stuck in this and you cannot figure out why, call on Archangel Michael to cut the cords. Okay? Something is attached to me. I'm not sure how it got there, who it is, what it's trying to accomplish, etc. Please cut the cords. All right? And as soon as you do that, you'll pretty much instantly feel a lift. Now, there are other kind of spiritual things you can do to detach. One thing I love to do is a spiritual goddess bath. And I have a blend of salts and different things of that, flower petals. Sorry, my train of thought is like trying to figure out essential oils. And anyways, you can put them in the bath with you. And then imagine as you're sitting in the bath, anything that's attached to you releasing. So burdens, negative energies, toxic stuff. And then as it goes down the drain, just say, I release it. And then that will also make you feel better. That works to me 10 times out of 10. So if I cannot get my stuff in order any other way, the bath usually is great for that. Showers too. It doesn't have to be a bath. But I just like to add those ingredients to the bath. And actually, I do have some of those available on my Etsy shop if anybody's interested. Some sugar scrubs and some bath salts. So anyways, let's keep going here. So I want to jump over to the Dance with Life. So let me find that. All right, so this is do something to change your energy. Life is always moving. If you resist this ever-changing flow, your energy will become stagnant and you will fall out of flow with the universe. The universe has a mysterious, intelligent force, a natural rhythmic beat, which governs all of life. One of the best ways to shift your energy frequency and vibration is to put on some music and dance along to it. When we have unrestrained, our spirit takes over. When we dance unrestrained. And each new bop, sway, and kick, we are rocked back into harmony with the rest of life. Get unstuck by doing something that shifts your vibration. Put on some music, dance unrestrained, and fall into the frequency of life. In doing so, your body will begin to learn how to be moved by your intuition, which is connected with this systematic beat. If dancing isn't your thing, then simply do something that you would not usually do to shift the energy. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. If you cannot attract a different experience without changing your energy first, it's time to shift things up and find a way to dance along with the beat of life. Okay. So, I did mention the spiritual bath, dancing, and music is another way. You could just go out for a walk in nature. You know, whatever it is that you use to connect yourself to the universe, whether it's sitting in meditation, you know, visualizations, affirmations, calling on archangels to assist, journeying to someplace. I mean, there are just so many ways to get you reconnected with your soul and to universe. So if you feel that, you know, something's been out of sorts lately here with the situation, you are being called to either shift your perception of it, because again, you know, this is all about being in your head with the fear, anxiety, worry, that sort of thing. So you need to get this away from you because it's not doing you any favors, for sure. So whatever you're being called to do it. And if dancing is not your thing, you know, again, there are just many, many, many other ways. I've actually seen videos of people just kind of shaking their body, you know, erratically while they're doing musical stuff. And what that's doing is that's also kind of shaking off whatever it is that needs to come off of you. Okay, so if you don't want to dance, you can kind of just shake erroneously your entire body, and that will help too. All right, let's get into some tarot on this. All right, we have the Hanged Man. The Five of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. Okay. The Five of Swords. Lots of fives in this pile. Knight of Wands and Seven of Wands. Okay. Bottom of the deck on this one is Knight of Swords. So we do have two knights here and we have two fives. So what I'm getting with this is there's going to be a situation that's going to come to light for you. And this is bringing big change into your life. So fives are change. They can also be challenges. So Five of Pentacles is about either feeling like you don't have enough, like your money situation, hardship, loss. It can also leave you feeling abandoned, isolated, out in the cold is kind of what they say. That's why there's snow on this one. So if you feel that you have been abandoned and left out in the cold, I'm getting the image of like a baby that someone didn't want and left it on the porch of an orphanage. And then, you know, the headmaster comes out and says, "Oh, what a beautiful baby." I mean, there's been so many movies that's how those situations start. So if you feel like that right now, you are going to be receiving some truth. And this is going to come when you are contemplating, you know, meditating. The thing about the Hanged Man card is it's got multiple meanings. One is that you are choosing to put yourself in this position yourself and to see things from a different perspective. And it could also mean that, you know, this is divine intervention. So you're being strung up there and you're stuck for a while. So you might as well look at things differently. Okay? It could be a pause, a wait. At the moment, you don't know which direction to go. So you're just thinking, waiting, contemplating. Now, I am also getting, with the Five of Swords, that there may have been some situation that you were in that was unfair. And whether this is you or someone else against you, again with swords, causing you stress, intimidation, bullying. I always think of this card as winning at all costs. How do I win and I don't care who I step on the way? And again, battle, conflict sort of thing. Challenge. Someone might be challenging you. But it's mental. So somebody may be getting in your head about something, but you are seeing the truth about it. So this may have been a past energy where somebody in the past was forcing you to be a certain way or think a certain way, and you're like, no, I don't want that for myself, okay? Now, I love that there's wands here too, because, you know, the Seven of Wands is about standing up for what you believe in. And that's exactly what I was talking about up here, is you're like, I don't want that for myself, so I'm choosing differently. I'm defending myself. I'm protecting me. And no one's going to get past me. And she's even in a karate uniform. So, you know, again, I will fight to the death for whatever it is that I believe that I want or that I deserve or desire. Now, Knight of Wands is very passionate, quick-moving energy. The only thing that I don't like about this card is that it tends to be not stable. So quickly to move in, but may also be quickly to move out. Okay? So it feels like you're getting an ignition of passion and you want to quickly move towards something. The warning here is to be careful about the longevity of it. Okay? If you're going forward in sort of a lack mentality, it may burn out as quickly as it burned bright. Okay? Think of like a fire and you add the gasoline to it and it just goes and that doesn't last very long. Okay? That gasoline will burn down and come back to like nothing or a small little flame. So just be careful with that aspect of it. Now, referring to this Knight of Swords, very similar energy, very fast moving, wanting to rush forward towards something. Okay? So the good thing about that is, again, very fast moving energy. All of this is very fast moving energy. All right? So let's check in with our Keepers of the Light and see what we have for this pile. Mary Magdalene. I love it. Okay. Let's find her. All right, so this is Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. Yep. So that's that rushing forward energy. We don't have a full picture of who Mary Magdalene actually was, but we do know from spiritual texts that she was a great visionary and teacher with clairvoyant abilities because she was able to see angels and the soul of her twin flame, Master Jesus. After he had passed away, she also had the ability to shake up crowds of people to bring their hearts and minds back to the highest good. She now devotes her time to supporting us in bringing about the radical changes the earth needs in order to prosper, and to encourage those who feel the need to teach the joy of spirit. Mary is a rebel a rebel heart in many ways. She helps those light workers who feel restricted by the opinions of others to step up and speak their truth. You have a strong desire to share what you have learned. You may feel people will dismiss you or ridicule you, but don't worry. Mary Magdalene is here to guide you through this process. Your vulnerability is actually your greatest strength because you are trusting the power of your soul, and the part of you can never be broken. You are a wonderful teacher and leader, and the world needs you. You are being backed by heaven, so step forwards and share all that you have learned. Okay. There's actually a Pink song called All I Know So Far. And it relates to me so much because, again, I was called to do this tarot channel. And I felt the same way, like, oh, I feel like I don't know that much, and I don't know if anybody's even going to listen and that sort of thing. And the point is you're not being called to show up and be a know-it-all and know every single thing about everything. What you're being called to step up and do is speak on what you know so far. It's okay that you don't know everything about everything. Nobody does. Not a single soul out there does. That's why we have guides. That's why we have spirit. That's why we have archangels. That's why we have ancestors, ascended masters. These are all aids for us to get on this spiritual journey and to figure out our own soul, okay, however that looks for you, because everybody's journey is slightly different. And once we connect with these guides and our own soul, it feels like the journey is so clear and we know exactly where we need to be going and what we need to be doing. So the hardest thing about a spiritual journey is not knowing the next step, or only knowing the one next step and not knowing what's coming after that. That is the hardest part. I mean, aside from the shadow work, don't get me wrong, okay? The shadow work is also the hardest part. But while you're doing your shadow work and you're facing parts of your soul that you've hidden and buried deep down, other things start to arise, okay? And as you start to transmute the darkness into light, you start to see things differently, okay? That's the clarity. You start to get better focus. Your visions change. You concentrate harder. You get new ideas and breakthroughs. The thing of it is, it's your soul journey, and you have a choice in every step you make. And I actually had an interesting thing happen to me the other day. I was actually looking up jobs just to see what's out there, okay? And to see if there's anything that I can sort of tie my skill sets into some, we'll say, regular job. As I'm looking, I'm starting to go, ugh. And I found one that maybe this could work. Maybe this could be something I could do. And as I started to look deeper into it, I got this really horrible feeling in my solar plexus. Okay, now I feel deeply as an empath in my solar plexus chakras, or in all my chakras, sorry. But it felt like a very strong pull from my guides to say, no, don't do that. Do not apply for that job. Do not go looking for jobs. Do not. And I immediately was like, oh, okay, all right. I hear the message loud and clear. I get it. I won't go looking for normal jobs. There's no normal jobs that fit us. There just isn't. And if you are in what's considered a quote-unquote normal job, likely you're not happy. And if you can find a normal job that you can be happy in and fulfill your life purpose, great, good for you. I was directed that that's not my path. So I actually was sitting there right after all that happened. My solar plexus calmed down and went back to normal. And I'm like, okay, good, we're good. I got this thought in my mind of remember the timeline when? Ha ha ha. And it was literally my guides joking with me of like, maybe I did choose a timeline where I went after that job and it was unfulfilling. And again, it wasn't what I wanted or needed for my life. It wasn't my purpose. Okay. Then I went and did a spread for myself and saw very clearly in the cards that I am destined for self-employment. So I want you to tap into your higher self and your soul frequency and ask yourself, what is my destiny? Is my destiny to do something for someone else? Or am I destined to be self-employed? Because what skills I harness cannot be put in a box and said, here's the job for you. We are all multifaceted beings, and we are destined for so much more. The other thing that I was noticing about some of these job postings is you'll look at them and it'll say, okay, a 4-year degree is required for this. Or more even, but then they're paying you like shit. And my brain just could not comprehend that. It's just kind of sickening to me. So that's another reason is the system is designed not to have us succeed and to do well in life. We honestly have to take it upon ourselves to go be self-employed and do our own thing and make our own money our own way. That is what we are being called to do right now. So if you resonate with this message, then this is for you. This is exactly what it is that I received the other day with that message. I was literally crying in happy tears. Because, again, you have to trust your intuition and you have to trust your path. And understand that when you're trying to do something, if you get some strong feeling not to do it, then don't do it. Your higher self and your guides and everybody that's with you out there, your ancestors, spirit, all know what's best for you and what is for your highest good. So even if I had chosen that path to go do all that, which I was strongly feeling I should not have, again, any choice you make is your choice and it becomes your journey. But we have multiple timelines that kind of can intersect at different points. So that's why the message came through, haha, remember the timeline when? And again, it was whenever I chose that job, if that job was available at that point. Which again, to me, I thought at the time harnessed at least some of my skills. And I thought could be an interesting job. But I was advised against doing it. So, your message here is choose what you feel is right for you and allow your guides and your intuition to help you get there along the way. All right? You've got to trust your gut feelings because they are meaningful. And the more that we're in tune with our soul and our guides, the better our outcomes will become. Because we're trusting in divine timing. We're trusting in what our direction is and what, our sole purpose is. All right, so with that, I want to get into some spirit messages. Let's get into some messages from spirit. All right, what do we have? Help us on our soul journey, spirit. What do you have for us? You are so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. You have been praying for things to heal, new opportunities to appear, relationships to improve, and these prayers will be answered soon. All right. Sorry, I get choked up with some of this stuff because, again, for me, it's confirmation. I always feel these things and see these things and get readings on these things. And then here it is. There's your message. Here's your sign. Just kidding. That's a different thing entirely. But it is. It's like, I've seen memes where it's like, please, spirit, give me a sign for something. And then you get the sign and they're like, well, give me a signier sign. Some of you have been getting signs and nudges and intuitive hits about some situation. And maybe you're ignoring them, or I'm also getting the message too that we need to detox. So there could be things we're eating or ingesting, or even, I don't want to say drugs, but alcohol, whatever it is that you're doing that's numbing you to these signs. You're being called to, at least temporarily, detox from them. Okay? And this could even be people. Again, with this deceptive energy, maybe even we need to detox from people. So whatever it is that is hindering you from tapping into your own intuition and to what your guides and spirit are trying to tell you, that's what you're being called to step away from at the moment. So go sit in this hangman energy for a while and see things from a new perspective. Okay. Your life is about to start moving quickly in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your attention most. Make decisions rationally but sensibly. There it is. Okay. Be clear about where you're putting your focus right now. Focus on your desired outcome. You have everything within to create the life of your dreams. Stop doubting yourself for once. This is your time. We've got you. All right, that's spirit and your guides saying, we've got you. You need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You are not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. I love that, because that is so true. We're not in competition with others. We're in competition with our past versions of ourselves. Are you better today than you were yesterday or a year ago or 10 years ago? If the answer is yes, then you're doing just fine. If the answer is no, then we need to reassess and figure out why. Keep moving forward even if you're unsure of your next step or where it may take you. Trust that you are walking the path that you're meant to walk. Remember that we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. Okay, yeah. So again, that's your gut instincts. So if you feel that pit of your stomach feeling about something, that's your solar plexus saying, don't do that. Have more faith in yourself. Be proud of how you are navigating every curveball that life throws at you. How you deal with those how you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience. Nothing can break that. That in itself is an inspiration for others. Keep shining your light. I love it. Find ways to fill your cup. Be self-full. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within. Find your triggers and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. Yep. So that's shadow work. And again, I always say fill your own cup up before you try to fill up someone else's. Ooh, that one went flying. If you pay close attention, you will notice all the doors that once closed are opening up, just in a different form. Things may not appear exactly as you had envisioned. That's true. I always say that, whatever it is that you're envisioning, Spirit will give you that times 10. So if you envision some job that pays something, you're going to get something so much greater and grander. Bottom of the deck. You are feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding around you and the various seemingly contradictory information that is coming your way. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do. And you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction that you want to take in your life. Yep. So again, when I was searching for a job, that was me. I'm interpreting this, okay, being in sort of a fear-based mentality. All right? I've always had like a corporate job or something that had benefits or something that was, here's the description. Yep, I can fit in that box. Give me some money for it. What you're being called to do right now is to find your own path. And that's difficult for a lot of us because we've never done it before. So, whatever it is that your guides and your intuition and spirit are calling you to do, there is a very good reason for it. And if you're being swayed away from something, again, there's a very good reason for it. Listen to your guides. Once you have evolved past a certain point, you can't fall backwards and go to something else. And that's how I felt when I was searching for a job. They're like, no, no, no. So it reminds me of the movie Blow, when he's in the prison trying to teach people how to smuggle drugs and stuff like that. The one guy goes, I'm a felon. No one's going to give me a regular job. And I'm like laughing my butt off because that's how I feel too. We are not destined for regular jobs. We just aren't. We are being called to pave our own path and our own way of doing things. And that's what's going to make us successful. That's what's going to bring us our money, our wealth, our abundance, our joy, our prosperity, our love. That's what's calling all of that in. This is you being your authentic self and doing what you're called to do because it brings you joy and because it helps others along the way too. Okay? So that is your message for today. I am so grateful to have all of you here to listen and join me in these readings. I thank you so much for the energy exchange. And again, keep in mind that you need to fill your own cup up before you try to fill someone else's. Go within so you never go without. And keep in mind that I'm a beacon of light here to help guide you through the darkness. I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, and as always, love. All right? Share that love. That's what we're all called to do. Share that love. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.